Welcome to the Orange Cactus Coffee Podcast with Mike Kincaid and Jake Goebel. Join them as they experience specialty coffee and document their journey. These friends explore roasts and roasting methods, brewing equipment and techniques, and review the cafes they visit along the way.
Thanks, Brioni, and thank you for joining us for episode 66 of the Orange Cactus Coffee Podcast, where Mike and I talk about Keys to the Shop, that's a coffee podcast, Lineage Coffee that we received as a gift from Chris Griffith, and we talk about the Industrial Revolution's impact on coffee history. So throughout, I call this episode 65 because I had messed up the numbering on it. So I went and had a little bit of fun with it, and each time that I called it episode 65, I went in and I changed it to episode 66. I had a little fun with it, and I hope you enjoy it as well. Let's jump right in.
It's 66.
Woo! Well, then I guess we're going to have to go ahead and start. You have stumbled across the Orange Cactus Coffee Podcast. The sweet, sultry sound that you're hearing right now is the voice of Jake Goebel. There's also another man in this room with me. His name is Mike Kincaid. Mike, can you say something?
Hi, Jake. It's a pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me.
That's the Mike voice. That's the Mike voice in the Orange Cactus Coffee Podcast experience. And as always, or as newly always, as we've been doing for the past couple weeks, we've been recording video. So there's a video version of this podcast. It's on YouTube. And if you want to watch us or just have us going in the background, by all means, please do. Please do. Thank you. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Thanks for liking and subscribing. And thank you for leaving reviews on iTunes and Stitcher and Google Play and wherever else that you listen or consume our content at. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for your messages. Thank you for your emails. What am I forgetting? Thank you for buying coffee. Thank you for buying hats. Thank you for reaching out to us if something is not right and letting us make it right. Sometimes, right? That's important. Sometimes folks buy something and then they're like, oh, well, it really wasn't what I expected. Or I bought a gift for somebody and it didn't fit. And then it's like, I don't want to bug them. I don't know what they're going to do. But you reached out to us. You give us a chance to make it right. And I appreciate you. Thank you.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, you sound super excited about it.
I'm distracted, to be honest.
Well, it's episode 63 of the Orange Cactus Coffee Podcast.
You keep rolling with it.
And
it's 66.
What are you getting? Are you going to get up and go? You want to go mess with the lights, don't you?
No, I noticed something.
You want to mess with the camera, don't you?
Just keep going.
Oh, my mercy.
Only the YouTube viewers will know.
I'm going to keep going. Mike has left the table. So we've kind of got a new office layout here. We've been breaking it in over the last couple weeks. We've been adding a little bit of furniture and removing some of the echoes.
I'm back. You're good. You can stop.
Oh, okay. Good.
Yeah.
All right.
I thought the framing was off a little bit. I thought we had one of the magical lights in the frame, but I don't think we did, but maybe it's there.
Yeah, it's right on the corner there.
Post tells out.
On the edge of the frame, right there.
Yeah,
right?
it's there. Not. It's the wall.
This?
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah.
It sure is the wall. Look at that. I can't move that.
No, hot dog.
Can't move the wall.
I know you
but
can't. We could take it out
in the frame.
Yeah, that's okay.
Got a bookcase in the frame. Got a bookcase. Got two bookcases in here. Moved all my books. It's amazing. It's like, man, how many books?
Brian likes our billowing clouds color.
Brian likes the billowing clouds?
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you, Brian. We have got paint on the walls. It's called Billowing Clouds. It's awesome. We talked about it in one of the previous episodes where I went into Home Depot and I ordered that Billowing Clouds. And it was an incredible experience. What?
Wasn't it Sherwin-Williams?
Sherman or Sherwin?
Sure. I don't know.
I have no idea. I don't know. I like painting, but I'm not that kind of guy.
You don't know where you're at?
I'm not a painter. I knew I went to Home Depot. That's what I'm saying.
I thought it was Sherwin. Oh, maybe that was last time you went to Sherwin.
No, I don't go to Sherwin.
You've never been to Sherwin?
No. I've been to Dunn Edwards.
Dunn
Edwards. Gets it done.
Done, Sherman.
Dunn gets it done.
Done, yeah.
All right, perfect. Well, we've got a great show lined up for you today. We have got some coffee reviews, coffee experiences, going to have a little bit of an update on our business, what we've got going on. Manny G's got a recommendation, and we're going to try and throw some coffee history out there. Is that right? There's no book, though. Did you forget the book?
It's in the bag.
Oh, well, that's perfect.
It's in the bag.
I guess you're going to have to get it during our next commercial break.
No, I got it. I memorized it.
Oh, okay, perfect.
I was up till 2 last night.
That's even better, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I do.
So where do you want to start, Mikey?
Where do I want to start?
Yeah.
Let's start with... You know what?
You're very good at this.
Let's get into Manny G.
It's almost like Have you been podcasting for 60 episodes? You're a pro.
I know.
A pro at this.
And pros think about what they want to say before they say it.
Before they hit record.
Pauses sometimes.
They hit record.
Well, hey.
Okay. All right.
I didn't memorize the notes, even though I'm the one that wrote them. No, I like Manny. Let's get into Manny G because I like his recommendation this week.
Manny G.
Let's do it.
Manny G recommends.
So Manny G recommends Keys to the Shop. This is a podcast.
Yes.
It is about coffee.
Yes.
And this episode, number 31, is essential advice for new baristas.
Yes.
I didn't listen to it yet. Sorry, Manny.
That's okay. I did.
Mike will tell us about it. What does it say? What was so great about it? What really gripped you? What gripped you so much that you had to say in your show notes that you really liked number 6?
And yeah, so this podcast, I haven't listened to many of them, but I did listen to this one. And I've listened to a few others. And it's really good. I really enjoyed it. The list, now he had a list. And I thought I included a link to it, but it doesn't look like it's
Nope, no link.
there.
Do you want me to get working on the link while you're pulling it up, or are you going to try and
go
find it on your phone?
Keys to the Shop. Just type in Keys to the Shop. I think it's .com, but maybe not.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Just go to
Keys
the website because he's got it right there on resources. I want to give a little information about the gentleman too, but I'm failing. I guess I need another 60 episodes to get better at this.
It would appear so. So Keys to the Shop, it's a website and Keys to the Shop podcast. It's a website, keystotheshop.com.
.com.
Boom. They're on Stitcher. They're on Podfanatic. They're on Twitter. They are on iTunes. Let me see. They are on Home Leon. And not Home Alone, but Home Leon.
Home Leon.
All right, perfect. Look at this latest episode is 34. Pour Over versus Batch Brew with Ryan Soder.
Yeah, nice. So if you go to resources,
he's got a list on resources.
He said
we've wanted to do lists of resources, like things that we discover. We wanted to make some resources and things like that.
Wait, real quick. There it is, Chris.
Yeah, Chris DeFerrio.
And the site's gone. Good. So we got his name. Chris heads this up. But yeah, list of resources, essential advice. He's got, what was kind of cool is he's like, hey, if you go to my site, I've got a list of all these, these 10 key points.
Oh, okay.
And I couldn't find it at first because I was looking under the podcast section. So I reached out to him on Instagram and he got back to me.
He said, hey, bro, it's under resources.
And he's like, yeah, it's under resources. And then I think
we're going to link to it.
He gave some of us a listen, some of our episodes. And
no, he did not.
He commented. I think he was very gracious, but he probably was thinking, you
guys are idiots.
You've got some work to do.
You guys are a bunch of bozos.
No, he said, I got the comment.
He's right. I'm not saying he's right. Okay, you look for the comment. I'm going to go through some of these tips on here. So keys to the shop.com.
Here's the thing.
Essentially,
sorry, I don't want to cut you off because I was thinking, should we go through this? I don't think we should.
Okay, we're not going to go through
You
all
need
of
to
them.
go listen to this
You're
the man's
go listen,
podcast.
But we're going to talk about number 6.
I want to highlight number 6.
All right.
And give you a teaser.
1. There you go. Perfect. We're going to tease the Keys to the Shop, episode 31, with Chris DeFerrio, a true coffee professional. Number 6. Serve the customers for better reasons. And we're going to put links to the podcast in the show notes. We're going to put links to these resources in the show notes, and hopefully you get some benefit from them. Most of the time, the customer is rather ambivalent to our service, no matter how good it is. Service is taxing both physically and emotionally. That's very true. The customers may love, hate, or be neutral, so you cannot base your motivations for service on their reactions. It's so true. I'm a big reactionary type of right? I feed off of the reactions that I get. We tend to look for validation in the eye of the customer. Boom. You're absolutely right, Chris. Do it for your reasons and your high standards. Give everyone great service to help the industry at large. Be prepared for rude people. Chris, sorry.
Be prepared for rude people, sweet people, and indifferent people.
Oh, okay. There's an extra 2 in there. Something looks like we got, as we from page 1 to one page to another, we kind of got chopped off here. But be prepared for rude people, sweet people, and indifferent people. They are not the final word on you or your career. You should always pursue.
Pursue.
Okay. And have a goal to make someone's day or to make them feel better when they leave than when they came in, but don't let it be the only or final place where you're placing value. And that's what Chris and Jared from Cat and Cloud say as well. Their goal is for you to leave happier than when you came in.
For you to leave. I thought you were going to stop
for you
there.
to leave.
Their goal is for you to
Our
leave.
goal is for you to leave and for you to drop $5.
That's actually like
you know what I'm saying?
One of McDonald's goals.
Oh,
That's
is
why
it?
they design the furniture the way they do. Because their goal for their seating area, their dining room, is
for you to leave.
For you to leave.
For you to leave, yeah.
Get
you
out.
can always be the bigger person and will be better for it. Don't take it personally until it's personal.
Boom. So I'll tell you why I really like this
Boom.
one.
Why did you like it, Mike?
When he started talking about it, I'm like, where's he going with this? I'm not sure I'm connecting it. But then he got into it. This is so key, having come from working in customer service and managing employees in customer service. Too often, you find people that will go above and beyond. You'll have an employee that will offer exceptional service, and the client will not reciprocate in any way to show that they even cared.
Yes.
And maybe you went above and beyond. You went outside of policy. You risked or jeopardized getting in trouble just to make the customer happy. But the customer doesn't give you any feedback.
In fact, they complain.
In fact, yeah, they're like, should never have happened. And then they just walk away, whatever it might be. And then you turn around and you say to yourself, I'm done being nice to people. I'm done trying to go the extra mile. I'm just done. I'm not going to do it. It doesn't get me anywhere. People don't even care. And his point, have better reasons for your good customer service.
Yeah.
I think it's so key.
Yeah.
You don't do it. It's nice when people say thank you or appreciate the extra. And I would say most will in a general overall. Most customers will see it. I think the majority will. But there's going to be some that don't. And some, frankly, just aren't going to care.
Yeah.
They expect service. They expect you to do what you did.
Yeah.
So you're not really doing anything above and beyond. But I think it's a nice attitude to have that you're doing it. Why? For your own personal reason.
You do you.
And he also tied it in nicely with, an individual that might go above and beyond. Say they're a new barista and consistently they're closing the shop or whatever they might be doing. And they're doing more than they need to because it's a personal goal of theirs to add more value.
Yes.
To go above and beyond. See a need, fill a need.
Yeah.
There comes a point when you might feel your own conflict within yourself that you don't have to continue to do that. No one truly expects me to do that. So you might even start slacking on your own motivation, your own personal goals.
Yeah.
And he says basically you're doing a disservice to yourself at that point.
You absolutely are.
You're no longer even maintaining your own standard.
Yeah.
So
and you're going to resent other people. If it's for them and you're doing it for them, you're going to start to, if you're doing it to be noticed, you're going to end up resenting them. Can I share some quick story?
Run with it.
Yeah, I remember my very first month working in a jail setting, in a maximum security jail.
That's different.
And I remember this inmate that I was having trouble with. He started getting an attitude, so I started yelling. And so I'm going to win that argument.
You started yelling back?
But ultimately, he won.
Did he?
Because he drew me into
sucked you in,
responding in like terms, under like terms.
He brought you into his game.
He brought me down to his level, where he's comfortable at. That's not where I operate at. I'm a professional, I don't get into, shouting matches and this, that, and the other thing. But he got me into it. And I realized, I said, wow, I am getting really angry. For what reason? And you can't help but take that anger with you.
Mm-hmm.
When you go home, when you go places, that's who you end up becoming. If you're going to spend 8 hours a day not caring about people or yelling at people or letting people get under your skin easily, you're not going to just turn it off when you leave your job, when you leave work. You're not. I'm telling you, you're not. You got to be you the whole time. And then secondly, what was your second point? I had something. I think it's gone. It's gone. Well, my second point was just that you set a standard for your own work. That's right. So I took it upon myself to bring my own cleaning supplies from home.
Oh, there you go.
And clean my work area.
Like your own Windex?
Yeah, my own Windex, my own wood polish, and my work area was spectacular.
It was beyond what was required of you.
I had a boss that would complain about how clean it is.
Mm-hmm. You make him look bad.
And I said to myself, this is insane. In the Marine Corps, no supervisor I ever had ever complained about my room, my work area, my anything being too clean.
Yeah.
But they did there.
Sure.
It's the least. It is
raising the bar, buddy.
Environment where you're trying to put forth the least possible effort. We've talked about that a little bit. And I made up a deal with myself. I was like, you know what? I don't care. I am going to go above and beyond. I don't care when people think that I'm trying to make them look bad. I don't care about people saying things about my back, behind me, about my back, things about me behind my back. There we go.
Yep.
Or whatever. And I know that you have had that before as well. When you end up not caring anymore. You say, well, I'm just not going to work hard then because people are talking bad about me.
Yeah.
They think that no. You do you. It's like that. People have so much energy that they're not putting into their work that they have room, energy, time, and motivation and enthusiasm to talk bad about you. And if you've begun a new career anytime within the last year, 2 years, I don't know, you've been through that process with people. The last bank that I worked for, I was hired with a lot of people. Everybody's supermoto in the beginning, right? They're all ultra motivated. Oh, yeah,
kill it.
Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, this is it. This is the
vision
future.
Statement, mission. Wow, this is so great. And when I continue with it for a year and I see people falling off with their motivations, and then they're looking at me like, bro, I thought you knew.
Calm it
that
down.
We were going to start high and then we're kind of going to get into the flow of things.
And get the lukewarm and just chill.
And just chill right here.
Yeah, that's it.
And that was, I don't, that ain't me. I don't do that.
Yeah.
I don't do that. But I do struggle with looking for feedback. Like Mike is my boss, both, for coffee and outside coffee. And he's been my boss for a long time.
Nobody's his boss.
Nobody's his boss. But I look for validation. I look for acknowledgement.
Yeah.
And I think I'm getting better at it, but it does mean a lot to me. And if your people, if you know it means a lot to them and it's in your control to give that feedback, I think you should.
It is a balance. And it's funny, he has a point there about feedback too.
Yeah.
That you should listen to along those same lines, but that's a different topic. They're all very good. I think they can be applied to any new job, not just specifically a barista. They're great foundational, building blocks. I think to your point, one thing to be mindful of is oftentimes you're seen as a threat when you come in and you are the go-getter, the 110%.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's because people perceive you as wanting to make them look bad. And that sometimes perception comes from personal experience.
Yeah.
Because other people literally,
quite literally.
that is their motivation for going above and beyond.
They're trying to ruin everybody else.
They're trying to outshine.
Yeah.
And I know Cat and Cloud, Chris and Jared have talked about this. They have team members that are awesome, but they're trying to do everything themselves their way because they can do it better. They can do it with more,
gusto, motivation, zeal, enthusiasm,
all the above,
charisma.
But it's at the expense of teamwork. So there's balance. And I think once people realize, okay, you're genuine and you're just wanting to help the whole business and help me.
Yeah.
But you're a go-getter. Then usually, the good people will come around.
Yeah.
And you motivate them.
Yeah.
And you just lift the whole morale of the team.
I got to tell you, what I am more known for, though, is showing up at different places and motivating people to seek employment elsewhere. Like I'll show up and they'll see how pumped up I am. Yeah. And they'll be like, I'm here because I want to be here. This is what I want to do. I've got a plan, blah, blah, blah. I love this. I love that, blah, blah. And they look at themselves and they look at their career and they say, oh, I lost that somewhere. Yeah. And then they go, they quit, they leave. They go work at other jobs and they thank me, but I don't know if that, the company that I'm working for is very thankful to have me there. They should be. They really should.
No, absolutely should be because there's nothing worse than having somebody
that don't want to be there,
doing enough to get by, collect the paycheck, but doesn't really want to be there.
Yeah.
If you can get them to say, you know what, I need to move on, as a manager, that's a much easier conversation than me saying, I think it's time for you to move on.
Yeah.
You save me.
It's time for that
go. Awkward, challenging conversation. We all know it, but you're gonna force me to be the one to bring it up.
Yeah.
So
we both know that you've checked out.
Yeah.
And that you really don't want to be here no more.
Exactly. So anyway, it's a great podcast. I enjoyed it. And Chris seems like he's got a lot of great resources. Check him out. Give him a like. Give him some listen, and let us know. Let us know if you have any other podcast episodes that you guys enjoyed that we should listen to as well. I haven't listened to them all yet.
Yeah. So thanks, Manny. Thanks for recommending that. Thank you, Chris, for putting the work in there to provide these valuable resources for the coffee community. Much love. Moving right along.
Moving on to the next.
You finished your Lineage.
Yeah, I downed that. I'm ready for the next cup.
Wow.
I don't know what you're doing.
I've had a lot of coffee today.
Oh, I haven't. I save it.
No.
I savor it.
So Chris Griffith, big shout out.
Thank you, Chris.
Hey, Chris, what episode was he on? I don't know, but we had an interview with Chris. If you haven't listened to the interview with Chris, you should go back and listen.
Especially
to
if you're a home roaster
it.
or thinking about being a home roaster.
Yeah. Well, if you just have a passion for coffee and you like listening to great people,
yes,
you should go check out the episode with Chris Griffith.
Or you like Florida or the Gators.
Go Gators! Chomp, 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 chomp. Anyhow, so
is that how it goes?
He sent us Go Gators! Chomp, 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 chomp. There it is. All right.
Perfect.
So Chris sent us a gift.
He
Just
did.
out of the blue. Thank you, Chris. Just showed up.
Yeah.
Actually, he sent an email. He said, hey, here's a tracking number. And then you don't know.
That's fun.
What is it? I mean, I have a reasonable expectation to assume it's coffee, but
you're going to see who it's from and you're going to question it, but don't worry. Just open it. Don't look on the return address.
Don't even worry about that. Just open it.
Yeah.
So Chris sent us some coffee and a Lineage, and it was Kenyan, 2 Kenyan bags.
Was it
2 bags of Kenyan, Rwandan. Thank you. 2 bags of Rwandan coffee. Yeah. One for Mike and one for myself.
Yeah, thank you, Chris.
And Lineage took it upon themselves to include a small sample of an Ethiopian Gutiti.
Yeah. So that's what we're drinking today, because you've been drinking, you've been talking on the Ristretto about
the Rwanda.
And I've enjoyed it. It is great.
Very unique flavors. I've never tasted the flavor, the stewed apples. The flavors that you get from the Rwandan.
It's great.
It's unique. It's very unique.
It reinvigorated my interest in coffee from Rwanda. Yeah. So I'm going to have to look into it.
Nice, yeah. And then, I'm sorry, I'm just like, I never really had any interest in coffee from Rwanda to begin with. I'm ashamed to confess because I really didn't think about it. You know, I just float along. I float along, and when something hits me, then I'm like, oh man, that's cool. So I was floating along, and a Rwandan stewed apple from Lineage slapped me upside the face, and now we're drinking the Ethiopian Gutiti, and it's a very good cup as well.
It is.
Lineage. They're from Florida, and they're doing some good stuff. They're doing a lot of good stuff in coffee. We'll throw some links to it in the show notes, but big ups to Chris and big ups to Lineage, and this is an excellent cup of coffee.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah, it was super light, but very great development. Good balance between sweetness and the acidity. So
yeah,
we've enjoyed it thoroughly.
Should I look for the episode that Chris was in? Is that what you're looking for?
No, I was just pulling up the show notes so I can see what we got going. So
nice.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Nice.
You know what I mean?
There's so many, there's so much. I got lost, and I know that's a cop out, you know, that's a cop out, and I'm sorry, but I get lost. I think Manny G was on episode 50, right? Yes.
Yes, he was.
Yes. Episode 52 is with Chris Griffith. Episode 52.
There it is.
And now we're at episode
63.
Is that right?
Well, yeah.
Oh, this episode 65.
It's 66.
Mike, this is episode 65.
Oh, it is 65. That's what the title says.
65.
It's 66.
So, anyhow, I introduced it in the beginning as 63. My apologies. This is 65.
I love it.
It's 66.
No, it just goes hands in hand with you. We're just skating along.
Yeah, we're just floating along and we got smacked upside the head. You boys are wrong.
This is episode 63, and it's really the third edition.
Oh.
Third version.
Oh.
Version 3.0.
That makes sense. Yeah.
That's how that works, right?
Perfect. Yes, absolutely.
No, you're actually wrong. Hit refresh. It's just the third version.
The third version of episode 63. We didn't get it right the first time, nor the second time, so we're back for a third time to see if we can get this thing right.
Let's try again. Should we start over?
So, yeah, let's start over. We're only 20, 30, 23 minutes into it.
Nice.
Yeah.
I think...
it might be time?
It might be time.
So some unique things about Lineage, about the bag itself, right? So the bag is it's white and it's got a kind of a matte sticker on it, which is very cool.
It is. At first, I didn't think it was a sticker.
You thought it was just screen printed on there?
I thought, yeah, or just part of the bag.
It's nice. It's nice. It's got, I would like a zip lock enclosure on top, but it's got the little dual crimpers that you can fold down and kind of bend on it. And then
the crimpities.
The coolest thing about it is it's got this sticker, this long sticker. It's like a paper sticker that's easily opened, but it has all the coffee information on it. It only has 2 flavor notes on the front sticker.
Yeah.
Which, go ahead, Mike. You can vent about the flavor notes, bro.
No, I liked it. I thought it was great.
Too much.
Caramel
there's
and
some,
stewed
there's
apple. That's it.
Like there's 10 flavor notes.
Yeah, exactly.
And everything is just overwhelming on the sticker. If you want more, it's kind of a go find it on the bag because you can track it all the way down. It's got the elevation. It's got the varietal. It's got
process,
how it was processed.
Date.
It's got everything on there. It's just not in the way that most coffee joints are doing it.
It's not
it's
info
and it's good.
overload.
Yeah.
It's not just data dump right on the front.
Yeah.
Boom, boom, boom. Here's everything. I like
it.
I liked it a lot too because it's simple. You can look right at it. Here's what it is. Here's what you can expect from it.
What I also like is they played around with the elements that are on there. Like on the bottom where it says 12 ounces, it doesn't just say 12 ounces. Yeah. It says 12 OZ in kind of a cute, the typography of it.
It's a vertical.
Is cool.
Yeah.
So
throw a picture up on there.
They did a good job with it.
Sure
and
did.
You can tell that they thought about it. They thought it through. And I know that, and I'll just bring this straight into the Orange Cactus Coffee update because here's the thing. When you are opening a cafe, when you are starting a business, when you are doing any of those things, there's so many different decisions that you don't think through. And really, you got to think all of them through. Like, what kind of mugs are you going to have? What size drink is it going to be? Is it drinks in? Is it water in? Is it water out? How are you going to advertise? How are you going to price? How are you going to set up? What color chairs are you going to have? What color floor are you going to have? What's the vibe that you're going for? Is it on theme? What is the theme of your brand? What is the theme of your company? Do all the elements on your website, your social media page, your clothing, your
Am I going to be running it? Do I want employees to run it?
What
is the vision?
What are you going to do?
I think
there's so many decisions that have to be made. I can see the appeal in buying a book where everything's set out. Tell me what to do. Mm-hmm. They've got an espresso-based menu, that second wave. They've got 3 flavors of smoothies. You've got some Italian sodas. You get the Torani syrups. You've got some Ghirardelli chocolate, and you're off and running. And you've got it, and you've got it set up.
Recipe for success.
And you can be an absentee owner and, let the money just come rolling in.
Let it just pour right in.
But that's not what we're trying to do. We're trying to really consider each touch point. So
I don't think that's going to last, is my prediction.
In fairness, we have not considered everything. There are some things where we're throwing stuff out there and kind of assuming or just hadn't thought things through, just thinking of stuff and just doing it. So there's no... I mean, if you question something like, hey, man, why did you do this? Or what do you think about this? What do you do that? Feel free. You're not going to hurt nobody's feelings over here. That's all I'm saying. You're not going to hurt nobody's feelings over here. Send us the email. Send us the question. Say, did you think this through? Because you're not known as one of the world's great thinkers, Jake. So I don't know if you thought this through. Now, if we've thought it through, we'll have an answer for it and say, hey, this is why we're doing what we're doing. So,
and sometimes the answer is as simple as, well, we liked it.
Yeah.
You liked it.
And one of those things that we like was a single origin coffee that stands up well to cream and sugar and gives you kind of a more traditional flavor. And when we say traditional, we mean kind of what you grew up with, just more of a base, a lot of nuttiness, chocolatey,
deeper tones,
lack of acidity, kind of more of a sweetness,
no florals,
a little bit more,
no fruit.
Yeah, none of those things. More just a traditional type of cut, but we wanted it a single origin.
Yeah, gateway drug.
We wanted a single origin, and we wanted it roast just a little bit darker, not too light, not Nordic light by any stretch of the imagination.
Nope.
we wanted that, and we wanted to call it something instead of just saying Costa Rican, Mexico, overwhelm you with all kinds of different things. We wanted a name for it. We played around with a couple different names. We played around with straight black, straight up, plain black.
Yeah, that's true.
Cream and sugar.
Well, and even for a little bit,
we've called these different types of coffees different things.
Remember when I proposed the idea of depending on the region it was from, find like an infamous or famous person.
Oh,
like for a Colombian.
Yeah. The Escobar.
Yeah, the Escobar.
Yeah.
But then you're like,
I don't know if naming our coffee after drug kingpins is what we're going for. It's just not the theme. Now,
but
it is
bold,
cartel.
in your face.
It is bold. It is in your face, but it meets more with what Cartel is doing down in Phoenix.
That's true.
You know, the name Cartel, they've got their coffee
lab.
Coffee labs. They look like little drug packets almost.
Little bands, rubber bands around it.
So that's kind of on theme with what they're doing. For us, since we're Orange Cactus Coffee, we decided to go with cactus, different cactus that communicated kind of what we wanted. Yeah. Now, when you think of a cactus, normally the giant saguaro comes into your mind. You know, there's the spear with the arms, and boom, there we go.
That's it.
That was what we chose for kind of that gateway drug, that traditional cup that's a single origin but stands up well to cream and sugar that your mom is going to like, the missus is going to like, the mister is going to like. Most people are going to enjoy drinking, whether they drink it neat or whether they drink it with cream and sugar.
Yeah, or even flavored creamer.
Or flavored creamer.
It really does work. And
it works with anything.
I think we made it a little harder on ourselves because we basically said this is our category of, you know, what type of coffee and how we want it to taste. Now we need to find a bean that fits it.
Correct. Yeah. It would have been easier, though not easy, to try and make a blend and stick to that. It's not super simple, but the other
more
drawback
traditional.
Is folks are not going to get the exact same cup every time they come in. When they order the saguaro, it may taste a little bit different. However, it's going to be in that genre.
And that's our hope for it. Absolutely. That you'll get to try. Last time it was a Mexican bean. This time it's Costa Rican, and it will still work for you, and you'll still enjoy it. But you'll also find that, hey, I all good, but I like the Mexican better. You know, and you learn yourself.
Me too. I like the Mixteca more than I like the Costa Rican.
It was good.
The
I'm undecided, but yeah, exactly. And you can't like everything equally the same. Right. You know, when you go single origin,
you shouldn't have to,
but it is a good read. The other aspect of that, is it provided additional branding opportunity, which I think kind of more developed as we got into it. Like, wait a minute, we can
flesh out the saguaro.
Exactly.
That's what we're doing right now.
Yeah,
we're fleshing out the saguaro with some cartoonish type pictures for shirts and posters and things, and just having fun with it. Just having fun with the whole saguaro brand, the whole thing, everything that it is. We want to get some shirts and clothes and gear and whatnot. So we're working on that. But that's actually not where I wanted to go. The second thing that we want is a king cup.
We went there.
And that is something that Mike's been working on as far as his trying to dial in the roast. It is an Ethiopian baraka bean, and everything is ready to go except the roast at the moment. Or is the roast ready to go?
We're ready.
Oh, well, then I should probably put it up there.
Yeah.
I should probably try and sell
let's
some.
load it. Remember?
Okay.
Sent you a text with a price.
I didn't.
So let's do it.
All right. So that experimentation, or this being ready to launch, is the culmination of experimentation with different types of roasting in the ILEO. How light, how dark, how long, how much charge, how much, all this other stuff that we do. And it's kind of the second offering that we want to offer. We only want to offer 3, but I'm going to camp right here. Maybe we'll talk about the third offering another time. But this King Cup, what have you been going through, Mike, to try and get the right light, dark roast? What methods? Talk a little bit about, geek out a little bit on the roasting. I'm going to go to sleep.
Okay, that's good. No, so for me, I took a little time, started to learn a little bit more. Roaster Joe had some good resources, coffee courses online.
Roaster Joe is from Sweet Maria's?
No, he's from Cafe Imports.
Cafe Imports.
He partnered with Mill City and did some videos on YouTube that are very informative. So I started taking his principles, Rob Who's principles, Scott Rayo's principles, and try and
Who's or Hose?
I say Who's.
Oh.
I think that's how he said it.
Is that how he said it?
I think.
Rob Who's.
I think it's Who's. I could be wrong. Sorry, Rob. But all their principles, and I thought, okay, where do I start? Well, previously mentioned this, that Roaster Joe gave me a good place to start. So I was like, okay, I'm going to keep everything as much constant as I can with the batch size, the charge size, and just manipulate 1 or 2 variables at a time. And that's what I did. So what was interesting, though, also another resource, and sorry I forgot this previously, the Coffee Navigated podcast with, I can't, her name, Therese.
Yeah.
It's
Vanny G had recommended that previously as well, right?
But it's Coffee Navigated. What's nice about, she's documenting her journey, and she's actually using the bullet. And so she's got a nice blog up there of different roast profiles, how she's approached Ethiopians. So I said, perfect. I'm going to start with how she approached an Ethiopian and go from there. And that's kind of what helped me. I used her profile exactly, and I said, okay, this is tasting really good. Let's develop this out a little bit. Let's try and, essentially what I try to do is draw out some of the stages of the roast to make it a little bit longer.
And does that give you different flavor properties of the baraka of each individual bean, the different types of beans?
It can, yeah. And that's what ties into kind of the principles of Rob and them is that, sometimes if you draw out certain stages, you emphasize more body and less acidity, and you can get more flavors. And
for the King Cup, what flavors are you trying to emphasize, or what are you trying to emphasize?
Well, we want a nice, clean, crisp, washed. I like something with a touch of floral. I don't want it a bouquet to the face.
Yeah.
A nice stone fruit, maybe some lime, but I don't want it to be a lemonade. You know what I mean? I find a nice coffee is balanced.
Yeah.
We've definitely had some that are too lemony, too florally, and they're fun to drink.
We've had lemon zingers, that's for sure, and we've had flowers to the face.
And I think they're fun to drink, and I think that could be a 4th category down the road where it's kind of like just the wild card. Because when we're trying to build out a specific flavor profile for this offering, I want it to stick within some parameters, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I'm totally with you there. So then the last one is a naturally processed blueberries to the face
to
coffee.
be determined.
Yeah. But so the problem is the King Cup is a cactus.
Oh, yeah.
The giant saguaro is a cactus.
Yep. They seem to fit, too.
I think it fits.
Yeah.
Kind of the daily drinker and something that's fit for a king.
Exactly.
But a naturally processed, there's a strawberry cactus out there. It's a strawberry hedgehog, I think, or something along those lines.
Yeah.
But no blueberries. I mean, I can't find any locally occurring blueberry cactus in southern Arizona and northern Mexico and kind of the southwestern United States where we're at.
Mm-hmm.
So can I say blueberries to the face with the strawberry whatever? I mean, if you look at most of these naturally processed coffees, they'll give you a couple different berries. They'll typically say, and then they'll have like a finish of some sort. They'll throw a mouthfeel in there as well. They'll be like strawberries, blueberries, and juicy or something along those lines.
Mm-hmm.
Or they'll give you, honeydew, berry, and lingering juicy.
Yeah.
Something along those lines. So if we pick a cactus that has strawberry in the name, I think it communicates that there's a berryish, berryness to the naturally processed coffee that we're trying to bring to market. But I really like the saying of blueberries to the face. And am I contradicting myself if I call it strawberries, but say that the strawberry coffee gives you blueberries to the face? Be like, huh.
Well, what if...
When's the last time you bit into a strawberry and got blueberries to the face?
Yeah, well, there's a lot of GMO stuff out there.
Well, maybe if you're biting the strawberry, I'm throwing the blueberries at you.
Boom. No,
like a parfait. What if... Some of them, like these parfaits, have strawberry, blueberry,
everybody loves parfaits.
Everybody loves parfaits. Not everybody like onions.
Yeah, everybody loves parfait. No, but see, for me, what if we took... maybe it doesn't have to be exact. It can get its inspiration. And we can call it the berry instead of calling it strawberry. What is the full name? The strawberry cactus or the strawberry hedgehog cactus?
I think it's a strawberry hedgehog.
Maybe we just call it the berry hedgehog. You know what I mean? And it's not an exact name because actually none of these names are even their technical. I forget the name. Plant name.
Right, like the saguaro is really the giant saguaro.
Well, and they even have
the King Cup is like. It's just a version of
scientific type name. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a strawberry hedgehog cactus or Engelmann's hedgehog cactus. We could call it the berry hedgehog.
You see what it says on the side there, though? Like that's the name right there.
Yeah.
right there.
Yeah, the Echinocerius engelmanni.
I think.
Yeah,
It's got Manny in it.
Yeah, Manny. We call it the Manny cactus. The Manny cactus.
This is the Engelmanni.
Engelmanni.
I think we just found it.
I think we just found it. Is it the Manny G? We can't call it the Manny G.
We can call it the Engelmanni.
The Engelmanni.
It's named after the strawberry hedgehog.
The Angel Manny.
Angel Manny.
Angel Manny.
So maybe we can
what
do
about the berry hedgehog?
That's what I'm saying. Maybe it can be inspired.
Yeah.
But to not mislead, we tweak it a little bit.
Yeah. Is it misleading if it's a strawberry hedgehog and we're telling you that it's going to give you blueberry flavors?
Yes.
Yeah. Because, I mean, if I tell you strawberry, you expect strawberry.
I don't want to have to explain.
We don't want to explain
technically the cactus is called a strawberry hedgehog, so we wanted to name that.
But it could also be called the Engelman's hedgehog cactus or the Angel Manny cactus.
The Angel Manny. I like that one. The Angel Manny. That one's
wild in Arizona.
Get ready for a heavenly experience.
I'm choking on my spit there. Oh, the heavenly experience.
Well, that's what you got to do with a name, right? You got to chew on it, say it different ways, try and act like you're describing it, and then you realize, okay, that's weird.
Yes.
Might not work.
Yes. But it's very similar to the king cup or the claret cup. You know what I mean? It's a similar cactus.
Maybe we got to go a different way. But the berry's in the name.
But berry's in the name.
It's fitting. What if we call it the berry hedgehog?
Fits.
The berry hedgehog.
The very berry hedgehog.
Or just the berry hedgehog.
Or just the berry cactus. No, the berry hedgehog.
Berry hedgehog.
Berry hedgehog.
What's hedgehog? Does that sound gross?
Yeah, it's an animal.
I know, but does that sound gross? I want the hedgehog.
It's cute.
Coffee.
It's cute.
It is.
Give me the hedgehog. Give me
you
the
could
berry.
totally do a character with that one.
Yeah. Oh, I already have one.
Oh, that's why you like it.
Yeah. Well, no, I
It's
liked
so
it
good.
before because it works. You know, you've got a little something there with it. The berry hedgehog.
Oh, don't hedgehogs? I don't know much about
They're
hedgehogs,
cute.
but aren't they? They're in the ground. They kind of sneak up and they pop up and they hide, aren't they? Or am I thinking of like?
I don't know what you're thinking of.
Because maybe it
Like
could be
a
like
mole?
part. It sneaks up on you and then slaps you in the face. It's like the sweet and sour guy with the candy. First it's sour, and they have that commercial where it's like pulling the chair out from under you,
Oh.
and then it's helping you back up. Then it's sweet.
Maybe that's him.
First it will poke you with its spines,
And then it gives you a sweet, delicious blueberries to the face.
and then you
The berry
realize there's
hedgehog.
life-saving water in its trunk.
Yeah.
I don't know. So yeah, this one's a little tougher
We could
than
call
that.
it the angel berry. Engelman hedgehog. Strawberry. No, that's lame.
I don't know about
That's
angel
lame.
berry. Yeah.
All right. Anyways.
Well, I
work
was
in
still
progress.
figuring that one out.
Work in progress. Tell me about your experience at Yellowleaf. The drink size assumptions.
Yes. So.
Okay, is there a story there?
Yes.
Oh.
You pause for a dramatic effect. I was sitting there, minding my own business.
There I was, sitting in the drive-thru, minding my own business, when this lady says, "Yo, you want some coffee?"
So I says to myself, let's go get some coffee. So we went to Yellowleaf, and I was going to get a couple blendeds on a hot day. We like the blendeds.
Ooh, I like that. With hot shots?
I get hot shots. I love the hot shots instead of the cold brew.
Yeah.
We tried a couple new ones they had to offer, which were good. They had one called the Monsoon.
Ooh, like was it a monsoon Malabar cold brew?
No, but that would have been cool. No, they didn't. Just the flavoring. And they had one called the Walk on the Beach, which was
Not to be confused with
coconut and vanilla.
other activities on the beach, which is another drink.
Yeah, like frisbee and volleyball.
Yeah. Frisbee on the beach.
Yeah, there you go.
So there's the walk on the beach.
The Walk on the Beach and the Monsoon. The Monsoon, I think is what it was called. It was like dark hazelnut and something else. I didn't try that one because I don't care too much for hazelnut. But I ordered our drinks. I think I got like a white mocha with some hot shots. And the wife, instead of getting the vanilla, she got coconut and white chocolate, which is really good. But she never asked me what size. And I failed to say, I always like the medium, the 16 ounce or the large, maybe even a 20 ounce.
24. It's either 16 or 24 ounces.
It's big.
If I recall correctly. It's
I think
24 ounces.
You think it's 24? It
think
might
so.
be. It's big.
Yeah.
It's too much.
Yeah.
And
Well, it depends.
Yeah. It depends.
I mean, there's like a 96 ounce big gulp out there. There's a 96.
That's true.
I mean, there's like those big coolers with like the handles.
the cooler with a handle.
I mean, and I remember this one trucker I knew. He would fill that up with 96 ounces of Code Red Mountain Dew
There you go.
every morning, and that's good.
We
to go.
always get the medium though. Medium's perfect. And because I don't think Yellowleaf adds extra coffee.
I think 16 ounces is the perfect cold drink. Period.
Yeah. So maybe they do 12, 16.
I think if you're going to go iced, you got to go 16 ounces.
Yeah.
Iced or frozen, blended, or
I
whatever.
think you're right.
And I'm
'Cause
talking
you
about
zip
16
through
ounces
it.
out. Like,
Yeah.
I want 16
In my
ounces of
hand.
liquid, not 16 ounces, not 12 ounces of liquid and 4 ounces of ice.
Yes.
If I'm getting an iced drink.
Not 16 ounces of weighted
You know what I'm talking about?
drink. Yeah, you want liquid. I got you. Because usually ice, it's so refreshing and good. You zip through it. So
Yeah.
having a little extra is nice.
Yeah.
So anyway, I didn't say the size. She never asked the size. Next thing I know, she's handing me these monsters through the window. And I'm like, oh, wow. Like, and it dawned on me, I didn't say anything, but well, let's go with it. So it made me think more about this. Was that a tactical error on my part? And was it somewhat taken advantage of? Because I paid like $5.50 for these large bad boys, which is more than you know the $4 price for the smaller one. Or was it just that maybe there was miscommunication? You know what I mean? It's hard to say. But if you don't specify size, do you assume they want the large? Because it's going to...
Yeah, because it makes me more money.
It makes me more money.
That's why I'm going to assume. You should never assume. You should never assume.
It just got me thinking. I wouldn't say that was their intent. But usually what happens is when you order, they grab the cup right then and start writing on it.
Yeah.
So they can... And so immediately... grab the large.
Yeah.
So I thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
So be careful.
That's why I only have one size.
That's why one size fits all.
That's why one size fits all. Let me say you walk in, you say, I want a mocha. Perfect. Let me get you, boom, done.
So if you only have 12 ounces, and
if
they
you
say
have 12 ounce for a hot drink.
they want 24, you just give them 2.
But see, here's the problem with the one size.
What's the problem?
12 ounces is a lot of coffee. Like for just
12
regular
ounces
coffee.
out. Oh, yeah. So you could have
10
different
ounces is
sizes
better.
for cold and hot.
No, just if you have a mocha, it's 12 ounces. Latte, 12 ounces.
I see.
But if you have espresso, if I want a shot of espresso, it's
12
not 12
ounces.
ounces. If I want just a cup of coffee,
There's 6 shots.
it's not 12 ounces. Maybe 10 ounces is better. We talked about this. And then trying to fit it right into the mug and whatnot. If you want a cortado, it's not 12 ounces. If you want a cappuccino, it's not 12 ounces. Macchiato is not 12 ounces.
So you would have to have it tiered per drink.
Each drink has its own size.
Yeah.
And then there's no small, medium, or large. It's just, you want a mocha,
You want
it's
that,
12
it comes in
ounces.
this. You want a plain coffee, it comes in this.
Yeah.
This is the size.
Yes.
And the reason for that size is because the recipe...
We've thought it through.
Yeah, the recipe is perfect.
We've thought it through, and this is what's going to get you the perfect flavor profile.
Because I did lack coffee flavor in my jumbo blended.
Of course you did, because there's no coffee in it.
There wasn't any extra.
And it's like, not every shop adds more coffee.
No.
They'll go like, there's, 2 shots for 12 ounces. You can get a 16 or a 20 ounce, but we just add more milk.
Yeah. A little more ice and a little more milk and a little more powder.
Yeah. Did you see my eye twitch? I was so mad my eye started twitching. Wait a minute. Put some more coffee in there, bro. Put some coffee on it. Put some coffee on it.
I think we need more coffee.
I think we need more coffee as well.
So that was just, I know, not a big experience, but something that just, I started thinking about. So have you ever been there and they assume, they just fall back on
assume.
Here's the large. Here's the super size.
I didn't want that one.
Boom.
Especially because you put less coffee in. Your profit margin is larger on that because you short me my coffee.
Here's another thought, too, along that same lines.
Hit me up with another thought.
I hand her my loyalty card because I'm loyal, right? And so I get the punch. I get the same punch whether I order a small, medium, or large.
Of course you do. And then you get a free drip coffee or something.
Well, you get like a free drink up to X amount.
Exactly.
But I could have...
You could have ordered 10 large
10 jumbos.
Double gulps, the jumbos. You could have ordered 10 50-ounce, double gulp frappuccinos, and then you come in to get your free one, and they're like, oh, just give you a batch brew.
Yeah.
It's not right.
I have yet to find a better method.
It's offensive.
It needs to be a better method.
It's offensive. Here's the method. You spend X amount of dollars.
There you go. That's what I was going.
You get Y amount off.
Every $20 you spend, we kick you
a $3 discount.
I think it'd be cool. We kick you a free drink. It doesn't matter. Any size, any drink.
Yeah.
Thank you
Absolutely.
for your business.
If you buy 10 drinks, you get whatever you want.
I mean, you could even do that.
So it's like, well, hold on a second. They could buy 10 small batch brewed coffees. Exactly. And then that one time that they come in, they get to sit down and they get to get that 12-ounce deliciously prepared mocha.
The Hawaiian Gold.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
That's your customer.
Exactly.
Why don't you want what's best for him? It's not like it's free. He's spending $3 on your batch brew.
Yeah. And then on top of that, what if he liked it so much the next drink he orders?
That's what I'm saying.
On his new loyalty card now is
what about,
up
he's
to
a
$1.
college kid. What about if he's college or in high school or whatever, not making a whole lot of money? A year later, he's got a raise, and now he's 5 mochas a day.
And there you go.
But
All
you
because of the free mocha.
But you didn't take care of him. You didn't want what's best for him. You wanted what's best for you.
Yeah.
We got problems.
Those methods
and I don't
have
think
to
we
be
can
better.
solve them.
Those methods. There are
Right,
some other shops.
coffee history book. Hand me the book.
You ready for that?
I'm ready for the book. I'm all pumped up.
Some
now.
of the other methods I've enjoyed are when they have your phone number. And I know some people don't like that, but I like when they track for me. I don't want to keep track of a card. And they show up and they be like,
I don't use the card.
We show you got a free one.
I don't use the card at all.
Like,
you
nice.
either track it off of my phone number or my credit card
Something.
or whatever, or you don't. Or you don't.
Something.
But I don't care because I'm not that loyal.
You're
And the
not.
only place that I would be loyal is press because you know what?
Takes 3 times.
They're the only ones that are doing what I want.
Coffee issue with Michael Kincaid. Yeah, kind of boring, but listen anyway.
All right. We are back in the art and craft of coffee by Kevin Senat. He is the
Thank you,
host of
Kevin.
the how-to video Coffee Brewing Secrets and curator of the coffeecompanion.com website. He is the United States' foremost coffee consumer authority.
Ooh.
Well, according to Query Books. We're not saying that he's not the foremost. It's just hard to determine who's the foremost. It's marketing gobbledygook.
Greatest cup in the world.
The greatest cup in the world. How do you know he's the foremost authority? His work is great. He's better than we are. He's a coffee legend. We give him his props.
Maybe at one time he had published the most books. And so he was the
foremost consumer coffee
He had the most
authority?
resources up at the front.
But how is not the marketing director at Folgers, not the foremost consumer coffee authority? If Folgers sells more coffee than anyone, are they not the foremost authority?
Yeah. What is your decision?
What are you
factor?
going by off of?
Exactly. It's a good
Now,
point.
his latest project is Mission Coffee Can, a web series following college students determined to win a national competition marketing their own brand of Guatemalan coffee.
Interesting.
More can be found at querybooks.com. All right, coffee meets the Industrial Revolution. The Industrial Revolution, which sought to centralize every process, prompted a shift in coffee making from small batch roasters to the use of large roasters and a packaging system that allowed advanced roasting and grinding. Known as the coffee can, coffee pioneer John Arbuckle created the first canned coffee in 1865.
Whoa.
The new consumer age focused on maximizing convenience. By the 1920s, most urban consumers in America and Europe were buying roasted and ground cans of coffee. Technology was improving, making coffee far easier to churn out. Commercial coffee roasters produced more coffee in larger batches and less time. Suddenly, a few could meet the masses' coffee needs. The loser in this new era was the coffee's freshness. Instant coffee, popularized by Nestle in the 1930s, brought the ultimate flavor loss. Like so many foods before it, coffee became a commodity, stressing convenience over taste. In the 1950s and 60s, coffee joined the ranks of TV dinners, canned fruits and vegetables, and other processed foods. Producing countries started mixing the best coffee with all other coffee.
Just mix it in.
Some great coffee stayed separate from the masses, but that was an exception. The refrigerator's presence in homes harmed coffee just as much, making available soda and juices competing instant gratification products.
Wow.
There's two emotions that come
The demise of
upon
coffee.
me as I'm reading this.
Mhm.
One is quit crying. That's what people want. You can sit and cry about coffee getting mixed in. You can sit and cry about it
It's
being
so
pre-ground for your
sad.
convenience and it's changing and blah, 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 blah. You can cry about technology changing
If I want to.
or you can get on board. Folgers
something
and
about it.
U-Band made a lot of money
They sure did.
off of this change.
They sure did.
The other thing that you can do is acknowledge where it's at and decide what you're going to do.
How are we going to respond?
How are we going to respond?
Where is it going?
How are we going to respond?
Or
And
how
that
can you
might mean-
exploit it?
How can you exploit it? That might be
not.
downsizing or differentiating.
And I don't mean that in the sense like they did, like Nestle did, but how can you say there's also opportunity there when someone's going one direction and the masses are eating it up, but you know there's something better?
There's a lot of, when I say a lot, what do I know?
There-
There are a few companies.
Some would
that
say you're
are
in the forefront. Jake,
Huh?
yeah.
They would say that I'm on the forefront?
Yeah, orange cactus.
Orange
In the
cactus
forefront.
coffee. On the forefront of the coffee revolution. The fourth wave of coffee. You heard it right here first.
Taking it out of the shop and bringing it back home.
Woo! I had something valuable to say, and now I don't.
gone.
Oh, okay, it's gone.
You're welcome.
What I was going to say is this: there's 2 or 3 companies out there trying to get instant coffee right,
Yes.
trying to take
Sudden
third
being
wave
one of them.
coffee, flavorful coffee, and throw it in an instant.
I want to try it.
Putting it out there in an instant. I am opposite. I'm opposite.
You're
see
is it opposite
this
day?
tremendous room between the coastal states
Like this
of the
big?
United States and around the globe for small coffee roasters, the same people that got moved out in the early 1920s. It's now 100 years later. It's time for you to come back.
Yep.
Don't call it a comeback. I've been here for years. I'm telling you, now is the time where people want a little bit more. Now, they still want the convenience, and you still got to be able to do that. You still got to be able to show up with your decent espresso machine plugged into a generator on the back of your 1965 VW bus when they say, was it Amazon or was it Echo? What is it? Alexa, I want a mocha. And you show up, boom. You take technology and you put it into that one-on-one. I'm going to come in and shake your hand and give you an awesome coffee experience.
That's the progression. The progression is technology shows up and makes things easy, fast, and efficient, but at the expense of quality. Now, technology keeps advancing, and now you get to this place where you retain that efficiency, but you can start bringing the flavor back into it, the quality back up.
Let's do it.
And so,
flavor and quality.
I
was
think you're
just in the
absolutely right.
grocery store, and my
good.
daughter,
You eat?
and she was like, we were walking down the coffee aisle, and she says, "Look, Papa, pre-ground for your convenience." And I was like, "It sure is." And then I pointed out the black silk. Oh, that Folgers black silk keeps calling me.
That is crazy. I remember drinking that. I remember
That's my favorite. That's my favorite. That's
So
the good stuff.
good.
It's always consistent. It's always the same flavor, and it's always awesome.
Yeah,
Folgers black silk.
absolutely.
Pre-ground for your convenience. $8.95 for a big
Tub.
old monster bucket.
And it's got like the fresh seal lid.
Oh, it's got the fresh seal lid. That keeps
And it's got the handle.
That keeps unwanted
So they have
flavors.
like the little indents.
Yeah. That keeps the unwanted flavors from your fridge out of it.
That reminds me,
What does it remind you of?
but we don't have time now.
No, we don't.
Have you talked about milk?
Milk?
Have you talked to them about milk? Is it milk?
About
Or
milk.
Milk.
Do you say milk or milk?
I say milk.
It sounds, because I think it's an I, not an E, except after C. No, wait a minute.
Good one.
All right. Thanks for kicking it
Milk.
with us. We will talk about milk, M-I-L-K, next time.
Yeah. This one got into an onion patch.
Yeah, we're just going to keep rambling here now before we end this, of course.
Until then,
Until then.
stay thirsty. I want some milk right now.
No, that's the world's most interesting man says, "Stay thirsty, my friends."
Well, got milk?
No, it's not milk. It's with an I. It's ilk.
Got milk?
There you go.
No, that's improper. Let's ask Mr. Butterworth.
Mr. Butterworth, we're out.
Bye.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us. We are out indeed. Show notes can be found at orangecactuscoffee.com/episode 66. We'll talk to you next time.